Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Spiker Christensen. I have so many quotes.
I know.
Please don't smile like that. You look like a whore. Of course, it's the obvious one, but I have so many quotes. I could do so many. Here's another good one that's not even really a quote. Turbulence hits. Oh. Pretty good. Ah, gosh. And we've got Jordan Christensen on the podcast.
You got a cute daughter. What's her name? Do I know you? Total creeper, dude. Is that what did she whisper in your ear? Are you crazy?
And we've got Grant Mickle on the pod.
I want every person on this plane to die.
That was a good one.
I had to check the language. I tried the English dub for 5 seconds just to listen to him say the horror line.
That was
I literally went. Mine started Korean, but it didn't have subtitles. I'm like, whoa, I'm not that smart. So I put on this English subtitles, but then as soon as he delivered the line, I was like, oh, I gotta hear what the English version dub. And dude, he's like, oh my gosh, could you not smile like that? You look like such a it was like the least menacing. It sounded like a diva. I'm not kidding. Go back and listen to it. He's like, oh, for the love of goodness, he's like, please don't smile like that. You look like a whore. And I was like, I think it's supposed to be more menacing than the English, because like I got the subtext in the Korean version. Completely lost on the English dub.
I wonder if the guys that dub even go back and listen to the original.
Movie is. No,
yeah,
they don't
or they just watch it and go, oh, he looks like he's doing it like this.
Maybe they don't even watch the movie. They're just reading lines of dialogue, and he's like, oh, I think this is good advice. Like, don't smile like that. You look like a whore. And it's like, you're playing a deranged serial killer that carries out a terrorist attack, and he's like, oh, I get my character's motivation now. I'm the bad guy. Oh, he thought he was the hero of the story. Don't wear makeup like that, you whore.
I mean, but if you look at this movie from his point of view, he does think he's the hero, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I guess. He's like Special Agent Jack Bauer, you know. Second president, there's no time to explain, you know.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said 24. This totally makes me think of an episode of 24.
Yes,
I was just waiting for the
so much happens, dude.
Yeah,
yeah, the little ticking clock. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, so everyone's been introduced. Get right into this movie. We're talking about Emergency Declaration.
Okay,
so came out in 2021.
A better movie title for this would be Plane to Busan.
Plane to Busan.
It's like,
what did I write? Let's see. What did I write? I wrote down. I put. Oh, dang it. I had a really clever wordplay. Snakes on a plane meets like COVID on a plane, cough on a plane. I don't remember what I said. I had said something, but I was so clever in my thoughts, guys. I'm not coming off as clever now. It's because something gets lost in translation. But yeah, basically snakes on a plane with the virus, but Plane to Busan, Plane to Busan.
Well, what people don't know is we recorded this and then we redubbed our voices.
Yes, I'm going back editing. Yes, going through. Adding much more clever commentary than I am now. Guys, this movie was directed by, oh boy, you guys love my pronunciation. Jae-rim. Jae-rim. It stars Song Kang-ho, who I love. He's
a taxi driver, Parasite, right?
Yes.
Or was that the other guy?
And Memories of
and then,
I Saw
and then Lee
Devil.
Byung-hun, he's, I don't know, everything else. I Saw the Devil.
Bittersweet Life.
Guys, I gotta say, I just enjoy South Korean films more than most American films these days because they still surprise me.
True, dude.
Yeah,
they still surprise me.
Yeah.
American films are the most predictable garbage I've ever seen. Now. Korean films still surprise me to this day. I'm watching this movie and I was like, how in the heck did they get that shot? There was literally scenes in this movie with the air. Okay, so. This movie, guys,
it's nonstop. Did you think of nonstop as well?
Yes,
but with motivations that make more sense, though.
I don't even remember what nonstop is about. I know Liam Neeson gets a gun. Like this movie was like he gets a gun on a plane, and I don't know if he's the marshal. I remember nothing about nonstop.
Yeah, he's the air marshal.
Except there's an actress from Downton Abbey, and there's she's like a flight attendant, and then there's Liam Neeson. That's it. That's the only thing. And I remember it's the nerdy white guy with the coat. He's the one that did it. Yeah. That's all I remember. but I don't remember anything else, which is why I won't watch it, because it's like the only thing I remember is like the twist or the who did it. Like you could watch Knives Out again because it's not so much about why am I even singing Ryan
and
Johnson's
this is
praise? He's an idiot. But
this
anyway.
is the Train to Busan sequel I actually wanted. Like this was what
Okay,
I
you
wanted
keep saying
from
that. This is a very different movie though.
Oh, it
This
is,
isn't a zombie
but
virus.
I'm
This is a
saying,
terrorist
well,
movie.
but it's a virus still. Like I'm
Virus.
just a virus. I'm just saying
It's a virus.
it was a sequel that I wanted, like just a more contained. I don't know, just this is such a good movie.
I like how we got through the two actors. I will say though that every serial killer in the last like 10 South Korean films I've seen, all the serial killers look the same. They all look like they belong in a K-pop band or something like that. Dude, like what is that? They all have the Justin Bieber hair, the slick hair, and they all just look like with their pursed lips are just like
I'm so glad
they all take a turn laughing.
These two actors, I'm so glad these two actors reunited. Ty from JSA, they are so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's cool to see like my two favorite Korean actors in a movie together, because I don't know any others, but I do recognize them. And it's not because I'm racist and I think that's them. It really is them, and I recognize them when I see them. Although I will say, when I watched Joint Security, I wasn't even sure if it was Lee Byung-hun because he's so much younger then. And I was like, is that him or not? Because I can't tell. Is it one of these other Korean? Anyway. Love this film. Well, I have a lot to say about it, so let's get into it. What was it like watching it for the first time, rewatching it for the podcast? I went in completely blind, but I think I knew it was a thriller immediately when I saw that Korean. I was like, oh, he's gonna be a serial killer. Of course he was. Biochemical terrorist threat thing.
Yeah.
But
well, are we introduced to him when he's like, how many people are going to be on this plane?
Yeah,
She's
the
like,
very first question. Yeah,
I can't
very first,
tell you that.
He's like, I can't
And
tell.
he's
He's just like,
why? What's wrong with that?
Dude, now I'm starting to see. Now I'm starting to see why those FBI agents detained Jim Carrey and Yes Man, because he's like, we just took a random spontaneous trip. It's like, who the freak does that? What are you, terrorists?
Yeah.
Like you started
He's
taking
like,
Korean.
one
Are you
way.
with the Koreans? So good, dude. Dude, yeah. How many people are on this flight? What flight has the most people on it? Or the maximum casualties? Why didn't she report him? What the freak? He's just like, no, I can't help you with that. And then he calls her a whore, and I'll be like, security, please. Detain this man.
True.
That's so funny, Ty. I'm as oblivious as she was. I was like, oh,
What a
what's wrong
weird
with this guy?
question.
I know. I was just like, why wouldn't she just tell him?
Jordan's like, come on, lady, stop being so uptight. Yeah, you whore. Tell him what he wants to know. He just wants to know how,
I was
what's a popular place to vacation.
I was totally thinking of
She's
Tommy.
like, what's your destination? He's like, what flight has the most people to do the most damage on? Jordan's like, okay, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but let me tell you, the one at 1:30, it's got the most passengers except one seat for you.
Oh, I was thinking of Tommy Boy when he's like, excuse me, I'm Earth. Who are you? Or how does the quote go?
Well, yeah, he's like, I need to get to Chicago. He's like, I can get you a flight back from Chicago. And he's like, hi, I'm Earth. Have we met?
I don't think
so
so.
Stupid. Yeah. I don't think so. Hello. Yes, flight attendants. My goodness. And it's not even the flight attendants. It's the people that work the counter. Like you get there and they're like, I can't help you with anything. Or they sit there and they're like, sir, you need to go through the line, and there's no one there. And I'm like, okay. So I go through the line and I get back and I'm like, it's me again. Oh my word, dude. Don't even get me started.
Oh,
guys, I have so many things about airlines and flying. This is a true story. Me and my wife are traveling, and I might have mentioned this on the podcast briefly, but we get in, we're all squished, and I'm like, oh, no one's sitting in the back row. So I get up and I sit in the back row.
Yeah.
No, I didn't lay down. I sat in the very far corner against the wall, and the flight attendant comes by and goes, sir, is that your assigned seat? I should have just said yes, but I knew she would call me on it and be like, let me see your ticket. So I was like, no, it's not my assigned seat. And she goes, well, you need to sit in your assigned seat. Right. Well, no. So it gets better. This is the flight attendant, right? And I'm not about to go ham on a flight attendant because I know this is time during COVID, so everyone's supposed to be required to be masked up. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I just thought I'd sit here if no one else's kid's here. And she goes, well, when we have the back road like this, we like to leave it open in case someone gets sick. They can lie down. And I was like, well, what's the protocol when this airplane's full, right? That's where my mind goes. Because like, okay, you're telling me like, okay, if it happens to be that we have the whole back row open, we can now use this as like a stretcher or a hospital bed for the sick and afflicted on a flight. And I'm like, so what happens when the airplane is full? Where do you put those people? I guess they just have to vomit all over the people they're sitting with. There's no place to lay down if the seats are occupied. But anyway, I was like, oh, okay. If someone feels sick or, needs to lay down, I will get up out of this seat. And she goes, that's not going to work. I don't know why it's not going to work. That's my interjection. She tells me that's not going to work. And I'm like, why the freak won't that work? Like, I will get up out of my seat if someone needs to lay down. Anyway, so I go sit back in my chair. And I'm like, I'm 6'2", maybe 6'2.5" or something. And I'm like 250 pounds. I'm trying to get my feet into the airplane seat. I have to like move my backpack so I can stick my feet under the chair in front of me. Otherwise I can't sit there. And these cramped, I'm cramped in like a sardine. And I'm
You're
sitting there
telling
and
me,
like
dude.
my back. Yeah, I know, Grant, you're 6'5", dude. So I pull my bag out under my leg so I can put my feet under the seat. And they're like, sir, your bag needs to be under your seat in front of you. And I was like, so get this. I'm like, okay. So I put my bag under my seat and I take a picture. All 4 flight attendants had a duffel bag with them. Every single one of these had their duffel bag sitting on the seat, on the chairs. Now, and I kept thinking, excuse me, should you put those bags under the seat in front of the chairs that you're not sitting in? Dude, at the end of the flight, and I know what the flight attendant was thinking. If she got all the drinks served and everything, maybe she could have sat down and gabbed with the other girls. The seats were never fetching used, and their bags sat on the freaking seats of those airplanes the entire flight. I wanted to take this plane down. I think I'm actually sympathetic to Nam Gil Kim's terrorist in this movie, because I was just like, I got up off the plane as I'm leaving, just looked at the flight attendant. I'm like, I'm so relieved that no one got sick on this flight and needed to lie down. And
You told her that, or you thought it?
I thought it. Didn't have the to say. I wish I would have. I wish I would have said it, because that's what I was thinking. And I was like, I'm so relieved no one got sick on this flight. Because you never use the fetching seats, and your bags, you freaking hypocrites. You're telling me to put my bag under the seat. Your bag sat on the chair the whole time. It was behind me. If we flipped like this movie did, the bag would have hit me in the head and I would have died. Like,
yeah.
anyway.
Speaking of those flips, I loved and some of those people that like unbuckled their seatbelts.
Shots, dude.
I was like,
those are real shots,
No,
right?
like, why
are
you
the air?
unbuckling?
How the freak did they get those shots?
Yeah, it had to have been.
Real.
Yeah, I think they just had a model, like an actual, like, it wasn't obviously a real plane, and then it
but because they were hitting zero gravity because she was suspended, dude.
Oh yeah.
I think they were dropping this plane out of the sky with stunt men and women. No, I'm serious. Like they were like, they did this in the you ever see the OK Go music video on the airplane? Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah, I think so.
They literally like dive out of the sky and they're like, they look like they're weightless because they're literally falling with the airplane.
Oh, I don't think I've actually seen that. I need to watch it. Yeah.
Dude, it's one of my, because OK Go has all these elaborate music videos. This one by far was like most baffling, because it's like they literally aren't in, and they're dropping out of the sky at the rate of gravity, and so they're able to, it looks like they're outer space. It's crazy. Looks like they're out in orbit, but they're not. They're dropping out of the sky. So sad. Like one of the people, the film crew's like barfing into a bag because they're trying to get the shot, and they do like 5 takes and they're like trying to get it perfect. It's nuts. I'll send you the video afterwards, but it made me think of this movie. There was a lady, like she was flying around on the ceiling. Everyone's hair was upside down. Like otherwise, like, yeah, I did think of Christopher Nolan's hallway.
I was thinking of the hallway.
Now this scene has like a twin, but like this movie was so much crazier. The woman was just like, yeah, like, rolling around.
And then that one guy that tries to help her and unbuckles the seatbelt, and he's like in the sky.
He's just like, let me help. No good, dude. No good. Yeah, why would you buckle your seatbelt? Oh, my goodness. Speaking of the guy that was trying to help, my favorite hero of this movie, the Train to Busan type, right?
Yes.
He's always like, hey,
she's infected.
She's infected. You need to go to the back of the plane. It's not about us. We have to do our part to save the people that aren't sick. And then at the end, they're like, we're not going to land. And he goes, we have to land. I need to live. That was so great, dude. Freaking love that guy, dude.
I know.
He's the hero of this movie.
He is.
Oh, gosh. Dang it. Guys, what was it like watching this movie for the first time? I was wildly impressed because I was very surprised. Jordan, how about you?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it. And as soon as I saw the trailer, I saw who was acting in it and what it was about. And I'm like, oh, you've sold me. Let's
go.
Yes. And like Ty said, it just took me back to watching 24, where you're just like, every minute you're like heart's racing and you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And by the end, I was in tears. I was like, they might actually, everyone might die. I just thought they were gonna die.
Yeah, they really got me to believe that that was going to be the case, and I was kind of
Yeah, they're gonna
upset
sacrifice
because
themselves. Yeah,
yeah,
that was
but
nuts.
they did it in a way that I was like, I like that, and the whole injecting himself with the virus
Yeah,
and
and I thought
like
he was dead too. I was
the
like, holy crap, this is the
Crazy.
most
Yeah, I
depressing movie I've
know.
ever seen in my
Yes,
life.
Bro.
right.
Yeah.
It would have
It was
been like
great.
I saw the devil all over again. I'm like, if this seriously ends like this, it's gonna be. I mean, it's amazing, but it was so depressing.
Yeah, for sure. Really bleak.
Well, it's fitting
And
too
that's
because
what surprised me.
this movie came out in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
right after all the COVID stuff.
dude,
That's wild.
yeah, dude, all that. I know. It made me think of COVID a lot, and they just kept talking about
Yeah.
this virus, antibodies,
And just
vaccine, and
and
everything.
then all the
It's
countries
crazy.
that are like, no, don't you dare land in our country.
Dude,
Yeah,
my
like-
favorite was Tom Cruise showed up in the Japanese fighter plane, and he's just like, die. He's trying to kill them. He's firing warning shots up in the sky. That was nuts,
Yeah,
dude.
that was crazy, dude.
That was exciting. I was like, oh my gosh, like Japan's gonna shoot him
I
down.
was not expecting that scene. That whole scene was really good.
So good. I even wrote down what he wrote because it made me laugh. He literally said, let's see, where is it?
And their own
Wrote down?
country, like had all these protesters. I was like, oh my gosh, they're like, don't land in our country, stay away.
He says,
It's
you can't
wild,
land in
dude.
Japan. Get out or terrible thing will happen. That's what the subtitle said. Get out or terrible thing will happen. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? Take him at their word. And sure enough, he's firing like right past the wings, and then he's like flying at him with missiles flying on either side of him. It was crazy. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, dang.
Jordan, wait, before I even forget, well, I have so many notes about this movie. Did you recognize 2 of the songs in this movie?
You'd have to
The very
remind
end?
me.
Okay, there's one song that is used in the trailer for Battle Los Angeles.
Oh, really? No, I don't
Yes,
remember that.
there's the weird robotic song. I don't know how to describe it. It's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah, watch the
It's
trailer.
so
You'll
distorted.
see. Yeah.
You'll hear it, and it was in this movie. Anyway, I just thought of how good that movie could have been because it's like one of the greatest trailers ever. But the movie was just so meh.
That was I remember hearing that song in this movie and I was like, I really like this song. And it's the same
Yeah.
thing watching
Yeah.
that trailer. Yeah.
Yes, it was from that trailer. And then there was one other song, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was the ending or something. I
The
wrote it
piano
down.
song. I think it's Claire de Lune. I could be
Yeah,
wrong, though.
yes, there's the Claire de Lune, but I thought maybe there was one other, but it might have just been the Claire de Lune because I recognized it.
Oh.
But there was like, yeah, there were like 2 songs, but that one in particular, I was like, where have I heard this song before? Like, I kept thinking, I was like, dude, I watched that freaking Battle Los Angeles trailer so many times when I was a kid, like just waiting for that movie to come out, just to be so disappointed. Aaron Eckhart, you're the only like Mormon that I know of working in Hollywood. Why aren't you more successful? I mean, you're in like one of my favorite movies of all time, Harvey Dent. That's pretty cool. But after that, I think he did like I Frankenstein and Battle Los Angeles. And I think they're like, do we really want to bank this guy's a movie star? I don't think so. He's a dweeb. He's a Peter Priesthood, as we would say in our church. He's too good of a good boy. Can't see him doing anything wrong. Guys, let's get into 2 of our favorite things from this movie. I want to hear some of your favorite things, Grant.
We haven't done the first time
Oh,
watching.
wait, I did mine.
You
Really briefly. I
did.
just said I was surprised.
Oh,
Jordan
briefly,
did
yeah.
his.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Grant,
what
your
about you,
turn.
Grant? What about you? What was it like watching it?
So I've only seen it once. I just finished it today, and it was a wild ride.
My favorite
know
was
if-
your text, Grant, when you're like, man, that was a roller coaster, and Ty's like a plane coaster.
A plane
Airplane
coaster.
coaster. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, dude. Holy crap. So many emotions and like
All
It
I
was a
can
lot
think about is
longer.
how many times Byron vomited next to me in that helicopter ride when we went to Hawaii. And I wonder how many
Yeah, I
times
thought
he
of
would
that
have
too.
lost
I'm
his
like,
lunch
this
in
is like
this
his
flight.
fear of like, the plane like nose diving and stuff. Like,
Dude, holy smokes. That
wild.
plane diving was my heart was racing.
Yeah, I felt like I was in
Yeah.
the plane. I felt like I was watching Maverick again.
Genuinely
Mhm.
felt it. They did a really good job at creating the atmosphere of just
Yeah.
panic without like going over the top where there's just like screaming people.
Yeah.
Because they were screaming, but like a lot of them almost were just like so scared they would close their eyes. Some of them are like just like passed out. Some of them are like just like retreating into themselves, just like cowering. I was just like, it was the most real, visceral thing I'd seen in a long time. Like,
I wish
really
I had
affected me.
seen this in the theater. That would have been great.
Oh, for sure.
Been
For
quite
sure.
an
Big
experience.
I wish I could take back nonstop and see the emergency technician and never have seen nonstop. No offense, Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
I
I'm very
don't
much
know if
looking.
any of you. Oh, sorry. I don't know if any of you like when they're showing like him trying to land the plane at the end, and then it does like it cuts and it goes to the next scene, and they're like walking through that. He's walking through that like community party or whatever or barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
They were all wearing like at first they were all wearing white. I was like, are they all dead?
Yes, that's hilarious that
I
you
was
said
so
that.
confused. And then
As soon as you say that, though, Grant, I literally was like, "Well, I don't know if Koreans believe in heaven as
maybe
a
not.
culture." See, I know, and then I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know, but maybe this is meant to represent like some afterlife. I totally agree.
Right.
Oh,
It's funny
interesting.
because it did occur to me for a split second. I was like, "Oh, they're
Yeah.
dead," but I'm like, no, this isn't some lost TV show, man. They're not.
I actually
You're
felt a
in
little
your
cheated when they
purgatory.
did that. I'm like, I kind of wanted to see them all cheering, and I'm glad they got to go back and you got to see that because
Yeah.
that's like a
Yes,
big
the
moment.
hard cut out was like jarring almost, but then
Yes.
going back.
Yeah.
Very crazy. What a ride. You said it, Grant. This movie's crazy. Again, I'm just gonna say my one favorite thing, just the way they shot this. I'm so impressed with like the stunt work. I feel like Koreans really throw themselves at their films. Like, I don't know if
literally and
they
figuratively.
definitely hurt,
Literally.
but like I'm just so impressed by that. Like so much more than like, I mean, not since like Top Gun Maverick have I been so floored by, the practical effects in this. It seems so freaking real, and I think it is. I think they suspended these actors in like midair, and they were flying around, flopping around on this airplane. Like I don't know whether or not the airplane's in the sky or not. I assume it's like a simulator where they but again, I don't know how they could get that weightless effect, because if it was rolling, she would be like rolling against the side of the plane.
Maybe they just rolled it really fast.
There was a scene. We got the shot, and you're dead. Oh, can we get a new actress in here? She's dead. We're gonna need another take. They're lined up out the door. Oh my gosh. But no, she seemed to be suspended, which I guess you could create that effect with like harnesses and wires. But it looked too clean because again, everyone's hair was moving. It was so trippy. Like they did everything, and it felt so real in the space they were in. So blew my mind, and it kept me guessing. So those are my two favorite things. What about you, Grant?
My favorite scene was the takeoff scene. It like starts drumming music, and then it's like building up the intensity. Dude. And then that's when they reveal that the cop finds the dead body in the villain's
he's standing
apartment.
When he's behind him. You're like,
that was so crazy. And then just the buildup of the engine and like the drumming music, like I thought that scene was so.
It built the suspense. It did a really good job, and I also even liked it that the detective's wife, was it his wife or his mother? Because I got confused once, but it's his wife, right?
His wife,
his wife was on the plane.
His wife's on the plane, because I saw the subtitles mother, but I think that was obviously his daughter that said mother. I thought he had said mother at first, and I was like, he's really upset that his mom's on that plane, and then I'm like, oh, they love each other. It's his wife. I'm an idiot, but I don't know how old, because I'm like, he's kind of old and she's kind of old, but they're husband and wife. Didn't I'm an idiot. Just move on.
You're right.
I know,
but I think besides
got him
that,
to care.
Yeah, and like for me, it was a really long movie, but at the same time, like it felt well paced. Like I enjoyed the whole movie all the way through. Like it didn't feel like I was like, oh, when is this gonna be over?
Yes, it successfully picked up the momentum after the lulls, because they gave you like this little moment of
breathe a little
simmering down. Yeah, like even like when he levels out the plane, I literally took a sigh. I was like,
yes,
oh my gosh, like he's just like he's just like, and you see the ocean and the freaking meter, and it's just like, you're dropping, please pull up, and you're just like, I'm trying. This cadaver's holding the freaking steering wheel. Oh my gosh, so stressful.
Because I love how like this, because I feel like it's hard like focusing on just one thing to make it go on for a full movie. But I think they did a really good job of including like the virus and then the politics of not being on the land, and then like these shots of like, almost crashing. Like they included all those really, really well, just to make it an entertaining movie all the way through. So
now I'm thinking about it, what did Not Stop have for it except the scene where he catches his gun suspended in midair? Is that the only thing that movie offered as far as like intensity. Like even like Flight Plan with Jodie Foster was like, where's her daughter? At least the whole time I was like, where's her daughter? This one, I guess I was like, yeah, or not this one, but the Nonstop. It's like, I guess we're trying to figure out who did all this. I don't
Yeah,
even
because remember
that
they get a
movie.
text and it was like somebody's a bad guy or got a bomb or something.
Oh, but see, I'm like, I don't care. This movie, this terrorist, man, creepy kid. Where do they find this guy? He killed everyone on that plane because his mom died. Wow, sorry, I got a bug.
Ty's got the
I got
sickness.
I just spewed blood and then squirt blood out of my eye. Holy shit. That got me so gross, dude. Oh my gosh, that freaked me out. Like blood shoots from the guy's eye. And he's like, oh, I need some help. I'm like, yeah, dude, if I squirted blood from my eye, oh my gosh. I'd open that safety door and jump out of the plane, dude. That'd be better fate than foaming up at the mouth, dude. Holy crap. You're right, Grant. There's moments of intensity, like everyone dying on the plane was so scary. Like they're like, I got this dust, and then like goes back to his seat and he's shaking off the dust to the people next to him. And you're just like, stop, stop.
You're getting
into
just like, my two favorite things. So
okay, go ahead,
I love movies about diseases that you can't see, like Contagion, where it's just like, oh fudge, who gave it to who? And then like
Jordan, it was the bat to the pig. That's who gave it to him. It was the bat
and then
gave it to the pig.
At like Cabin Fever, where nobody trusts each other, and you start to like separate into groups, and it's like the sick from the non-sick. And you're like so afraid to get it. And I just love those shots of the air, and you just look like
but I have to say real quick.
Yeah.
Even without knowing the ending of this movie, which subverted a lot of my expectations, there has to be a new horror movie trope where there's a disease where the character that's most concerned with getting sick then gets sick and then just goes ape shiz on all of his morals and flips it. Like I've seen that, like Train to Busan, the training conductor, right? He's like, hey, you eat this person. He's like, oh, we got to do it for the safety of the train. But then when their own lives are in danger, they're like, get out of my way. That has to be a trope now. I'm just saying, like, it's almost cliche at this point, but I like it because again, it's like the character arc where the whole time he's like, look, we have to just care about other people. This isn't about us. And then at the end, it's revealed he's like, I don't want to die. Great. Amazing. But it isn't a trope, right? Like, did any one of you not see that coming? Like, I saw it coming from a mile away. I didn't know that like they were going to take it where he's not. I just knew that he'd have his coward moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I literally was like, they're going to punch him in the face because he's going to say something too far. But it was close, but it was like, oh, I got the blister now.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to get sick, which is
exactly. And then he'd be like, I'm not going to the back. You all get to the back. You guys all sick. So like it was gonna happen. And then I liked it. Again, it subverted my expectations, but I knew that like that guy is getting that arc. So
yeah.
I love it. But gosh, I wrote down so many notes for this movie, which I thought, but I think a lot of them are quotes. So do you guys want to say anything else that you liked about the movie before I get into like my quotes and stuff?
It's such a good, I mean, the suspense is amazing, and it's just so well done.
I like the character moments, like very subtle but very fun, that get me to care about someone. Like like I like Song Kang-ho's when his wife leaves or whatever. She's like, I made enough soup for you or whatever, and he's like, oxbone soup. He's like, goodness, 2 weeks worth. He's like, 2 weeks worth. He's like ready to throw up. And he's like, she's like, don't throw it out. Don't get takeout. Yeah,
don't get takeout. Yeah,
don't get takeout. Eat the soup. It's so funny. But I just was blown away by that. And then I also like a movie quote where the concerned guy, he's like, what is that? Is that the blisters? He's like, no, I got eczema. And he's like, show me your doctor's note. He's like, why would I carry a doctor's note for eczema? Oh, it was so great. I love that, dude. That was a great scene. Yeah, prove to me you don't have COVID, right? That's what it reminded me of, right?
I know,
like, dude.
Like, give me your vaccination card.
Yeah, give me your vaccination card, right? And you're like, dude, get lost. Like, you do not need to know my vaccination status.
And it's so sad too, because like the girl starts feeling like, like embarrassed about it, and so she's like, I just want to avoid this, so let's just go to the back. The dad's like, no, all the sick people are in the back. It's like
I know
this
just
conflict
to protect his daughter, dude. It's like Train to Busan. You're like, don't go back there.
I know,
it's
right?
Crazy. It's crazy.
I know, because you're like, their chances just went up by a really high percentage when they moved to the back with all the sick people.
I would have been like, we're gonna be in like the front of the back, you know?
Yeah, I would have been at least in the middle-ish.
Yeah, it's like at least it's
Right.
questionable. I'm not showing symptoms. Can I sit in the middle of the plane? They're like, no, get to the back, you filthy man. It's not about us. We got to think about the greater good.
I
So
know.
funny.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think they developed the characters really well. Like you said, they make you care for them a lot. Like I love learning the backstory of the guy. You find out he used to be a pilot, and that
Yeah,
ends
they
up
did a good
being
job
the
setting
way
that
that
up.
they're
He's like, I
saved.
have
Like,
never wanted to see you again. And I was like, where did that come
know, I was
from? I
like-
literally was like, did I miss something? He's like, I wish you wouldn't have come back. And I was like, oh, but they have history, I'm assuming. And I literally, like, in this 2-hour movie, I was like, wait, did I miss it? Are we never going to find out? And then, like, they had the conversation when he's about to die. And he's like, hey, I think you did the right thing. And you're just like, oh, that's sweet. you
I know. Oh my gosh. There's so many crazy arcs in this.
Yeah. And it's Airplane. How many arcs were in nonstop? I just keep forgetting
I love
how
how we keep
bad
going back to
Nonstop
that.
is. Well, it's just such a bad movie compared to this one, you know? Like I remember watching Nonstop thinking I was entertained, but I'm like, I can't remember a single thing about it, and I keep thinking about this movie, and I will be thinking about this movie long
And I'm
after
so
Nonstop.
excited to rewatch this movie.
Yeah,
that's one thing I
would
didn't
it's
do
so
rewatch
with
it.
rewatchable.
Nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. What was
Or at
the
least I
other?
think it
Was
would
there a
be.
Jake Gyllenhaal flight movie? What did we just watch? It all takes place in one cockpit. Oh, it was wait, is it Rami Malek? Who was-
Ambulance?
No, not Ambulance. And it wasn't the call
It's
center
all
one
in
either.
one car.
Oh, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It was like an airplane movie. Do you guys see that one? That one was pretty
Mm-mm.
clever. They did the whole movie from the cockpit. And like a terrorist situation, I think, happens as well.
Oh,
It's just as Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's a pretty good movie. I can't remember what they called it. It was like 1 hour and 20, but it did a pretty good job too. It was definitely more memorable than Nonstop, but still nothing on this movie. But I'm just thinking of all the flight
Ty's
movies.
taking punches at Nonstop before a movie.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Wait, did
that
I
movie was
mention
so-
Nonstop?
Did I mention Nonstop? Anyway, there was one thing. So the virus came from the Middle East, I guess, you know.
Oh yeah, and how did he get past security? He was just putting it in his neck. Did it not?
But in his
Put it in
armpit.
his armpit.
Oh, armpit. How did it not pick that up? Like,
Dude, they didn't have any screeners like
I
we
don't
do
know.
where they like screen your exoskeleton. It's just a metal detector, right?
oh, can
So
it
he
not
had a
detect it through
bandage.
skin? Is it?
I don't know.
Was it metal?
Actually.
What did he have in his arm? He
I-
had a
I don't
vial.
It looked like a metal vial of it. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
and I
pretend
thought
it
it-
was glass vial with the. I didn't think it was metal.
Oh yeah, maybe it wasn't.
Gross, dude. Cut it in himself. I thought that was great. Like I actually like creepy things like that because I'm like,
Yes.
oh, it's so premeditated
Yeah.
and disgusting, and
Mhm.
it's so gross too. He's like, what the freak did you cut? Like, what did you put in there? And he's just like, oh, it's so gross. He's got like a hole in his armpit, and he's just like, yeah, I stuffed the virus in there. Never think to look there. But I also like the detective side of it where there's like action on the ground, like you said, because there's two plots,
yeah.
like the A plot and B plot, the whole political and the detective side of it. and the
Yes.
virus,
Oh my gosh,
which I
the
think was a good
politics
addition.
when he's fighting them in the rain. That like epic
The
like
cops,
yeah.
yeah,
they're all-
fighting
yeah.
is so good.
Fighting with Pfizer or whatever the
Yeah.
the corrupt company was. I'm gonna call him Pfizer because Pfizer's evil. What was it called? Omicron. What was it called?
What were you saying, Grant?
Well, when I love that first person point of view shot of the car crash when they're chasing after that guy. That was really crazy. Like, I just love all the ground detective work as all this stuff's going on that he's trying to help, his wife who's on the plane. That was really
It was
good.
Brecom,
So
I
good.
think. Brecom or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Brecom Corporation. And they're like, you don't know that we had any involvement with this. It was like a really weird American actor, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, he was not that good actor.
Well, he wasn't American, I don't think, was he? I think he was just that's just the universal language people use to communicate. I think he was from another country.
I think he was a terrible actor. I don't really care where he was from. Because I was so confused. His accent was all over the place. He was all over the place. He's just like, I think they fished this guy out from the he was probably one of the perverts wearing a mask in Squid Game. He was one of those American actors.
Oh.
Just horrendous. I don't know
Oh
where
my
they get these
gosh.
American English speaking actors to represent America. They're probably like foreign exchange students that have been away from America so long. They're like more Korean than they are American, and they're just like, oh yeah, I know. I remember what America's like. We're the evil corporation. Anyway, the corporation was evil, and I thought it was really funny when he's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm the Minister of the Homeland and Land Security."
Transport.
transport. I just think that she could have used that to be like, I'm your freaking reckoning or something like that. I think she could have said a way cooler line. I wanted some cool tagline, but instead she's like, this is who I am. And I'm like, girl, women empowerment, let's go. Let's like put their feet to the flame and be like, I'm your reckoning. You're done. And then there was that scene where she leans in and she's like, thank you for doing this press conference where you're going to give everyone the vaccine for free. But she's like, I'll see you in court. That's like, this isn't over. You forget. I like that. We can't all be selfish. Go to the back of the plane. And then he's like, you have blisters, but I wore gloves, he says.
that would protect him. That made me think too. I was like,
the masking,
it's like people who got COVID, they're like, but I wore a mask.
I got my 18th booster. I'm still getting COVID. So funny. There's the other quote. This is Sky Korea 501. Good day.
Wait, I got a good quote.
I guess that's after they make their calls.
It's okay. He boarded the Honolulu. Oh, thank goodness. Wait, where is Honolulu?
Honolulu's in Hawaii.
It's in Hawaii. What?
It's in Hawaii. No. Yeah, I like that. I know. I literally thought that too, and I was like, wait, he doesn't know where Honolulu is. Like, to me, it didn't even occur to me that he didn't know that. And yeah. I thought that was great.
I started watching this with Tatiana, and we got like 20 minutes in, and she was so stressed. She's like, I can't watch anymore.
Yeah, dude, wow. That flight falling out of the sky, the terrorist, all the things were so scary.
Yeah, it was too much for her.
And they did the contagion thing. Well, I don't know what's the other movie that did it, but like the steak being prepared, the steak being brought to him, switching the meals, like all the things you're just like, don't do this, poison.
I know. And then the guy switching with the pilot with the co-pilot.
And then the co-pilot goes back with all the sick people and like,
and then the door's locked. You're like, no.
Dude, I know. Who's going to fly this plane?
Yeah, it's wild.
And then the last pilot, you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to die. And then what's going to happen? And then you find out later that, he's an ex-pilot. So
it's crazy too. Where I got to say, I really like the whole United flight team together. Everyone's just like, we're not going to land this plane. We're not going to wish this on other people. I gotta admire the courage of these folks. I just think they did a really good job at making me feel that. And they had all the phone calls to their loved ones, and people saying like, "I'm sorry, I've argued with you today." It's like really heartbreaking. Their last phone call.
That was a cool shot too. The screen frame, and then it got smaller and smaller.
And those calls. I
do know that there was
had me in tears. Ty, there's like a compilation of all the final calls on 9/11. You can listen to those on YouTube. Wow. I just bawled and bawled and bawled. It's just
I didn't know that they had those. I guess obviously if you got a call from someone or like a voicemail from someone, that is devastating.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because I
kind of had that United
moment.
93 moment, where everyone agreed to not land the plane but fly it on.
That's what I thought about when I was watching this movie, and that's why I was just like in tears. It's like, oh my gosh.
That totally subverted my expectations as well, because you like, based on the title of the movie, you think that he's gonna like do this emergency declaration and be like, screw it, we're landing,
Yeah,
like that's kind of
that's where his arc. That's his arc, though. Remember, because last time they told him not to land, and then he did. 2 flight attendants. So now he learned. It's called a character arc, Grant. Dynamic character. He learned something, and he didn't do the thing again.
That's what it's called.
Grant's like, I didn't know he's going to do that. I was like, well, if he didn't, no, good. Okay. To be fair, yes, there was the moment of tension. Like, will he do what he did before, or has he learned his lesson and grown as a character? Yes. So you're right. Like, they did a good job with that, but I just thought it was funny.
I guess too, I was kind of like, I don't know what he's going to do. Like, and then just hearing that they're all like, let's just not land. I was like, wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah. They should have done everyone takes a vote or whatever, like they did in Dark Knight. We should talk about this. What's that guy with the detonator?
That's right.
You don't want to get your hands dirty. Those criminals, they already had their chance. Love that guy, dude.
Yeah,
that guy's a hero too. Every movie's got one. Not all heroes wear capes. And then one other thing made me laugh was I love the scene where Val Kilmer goes up to Tom Cruise and says, "You can be my wingman," and then he says, "Bullshit, you can be mine."
Wait, you're quoting Maverick? I'm confused.
I make myself laugh at my own jokes, folks. That didn't happen in this movie.
I didn't know what movie that was from.
Dad jokes. Gotcha.
Dad jokes. And Grant didn't even know what I was saying. It's like, are you speaking Korean? What's wrong with you, Grant? I was quoting Top Gun. Have you never seen Top Gun?
It's been a long time.
Oh my word.
Grant,
Good movie.
Grant's
Val
like, put
Kilmer tells
subtitles on
Tom
Thai, please.
I know, right? He's like, oh yeah, I should like flash being like sarcasm detected or joke coming up in 3, 2, 1. No, I really like the part where Japanese Tom Cruise is like trying to shut down that plane. Like it was such an exciting scene, and he's just like, you have to get out of here. He's like, I'm not warning you again. He's floating like right over him, and he's showing the missiles and the guns all loaded. Like it was so intimidating, dude. It was great. They're just like, oh my gosh, like we gotta land this plane, and they like flew at each other. He's like, where is it? It dropped off the radar. That goes beep. He's like, oh, it's right in front of him. That was great. I loved it. My 2 nitpicks. One of them was there's a great scene where she's like, he's afraid, and she's talking about her father, but her father is a pilot. Would he really be so upset about turbulence? Now, keep in mind, I guess some pilots can be scared of turbulence, but I'm like, this is a pilot we're talking about here. Like, am I really to believe like, and again, after the traumatic experience, maybe he's like sworn off flying, but I still, anyway, it's just like a nitpick. There's something to that I'm like,
well, I think
fine
it's
for
the
the
PTSD
character.
idea of like any turbulence, because he said that when they crashed, there was bad weather that day as well.
True.
And so like
they
I'm sure that
landed
reminds him of his day.
safely, and then the
But 2 people died, and he still blames himself for that.
But because of a fire, it has nothing. I'll give it a pass. It's a nitpick. If he was like, "Oh, fire!" Oh, like he's afraid of fire, I'd understand it. I'd be like, "Oh, don't get burned by that fire." But it's just turbulence, and he's like, "Oh," and she's like, "He's afraid," and I'm like, "What? Afraid of flying? He's a pilot, for Pete's sake! Like you're not afraid. Like I'm not afraid of driving my truck if I'm a truck driver. I'm not afraid of. Anyway, I'm a pilot, but I'm afraid. Like anyway." I didn't see any of the guys in Top Gun afraid. I didn't see Liam Neeson afraid. Nonstop. He wasn't afraid of anything. He wasn't afraid of that movie's logic either. He wasn't afraid of that. No one remembered the movie after they left it. Anyway, I'm on a roll right now. I loved it. Yeah, the end. Brecom. Yeah, the evil. Fauci was like, we had nothing to do with this. And then they're like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'll see you in court. I thought that was great. And then they're like, this one scene that my other nitpick was just like the scene at the end where they're like, Senator, do you not think that was a huge risk? Like, you didn't know if the antivirus would work. And she's like, that's why I resigned. And everyone's like, everyone just starts laughing. And I'm like,
I know.
Wait, that's like, funny? Like, why is it funny? It's like, did she do the right thing? Or like, she's like, I guess I'm stepping down because I am allowed one bad mistake. I don't really understand.
I didn't understand that laugh either. I was like, it seems like the wrong time to laugh.
I would love it to find out that actress playing this political, like, turns out to be a real politician in Korea. And she's like, this is like imagine like a movie today with like Stacey Abrams, like Star Trek Next Generation did this, where she's like, Stacey Abrams shows up and she's like, I'm the president of Earth. And you're like, okay. Or like freaking, like imagine like Kamala Harris showing up in a movie and being like, oh, I resigned because I did something so noble and brave that was very risky, but it paid off in the end. But that's why I resigned, because I took a chance, a risk, and I just don't get it. It's like,
I know, it's like
you're still being summoned, like she's in a court hearing or something.
I feel like it's Star Wars when they're giving out the medals to Han Solo, and they're all like, why did you leave? I mean, or how did they ask it? And then he's like, well, I resigned, and then everybody's like laughing.
Oh, quite right. Yeah, I didn't get that. And then my last nitpick is I wanted to see more of the terrorist. Like, I almost wish like he could have been on the plane a little bit longer. I like his idealism his like ideology. Wait, I should probably don't take that out of context. I don't like his ideology. I like how they portrayed it, like how he's like a martyr and he's going to do this. Like, you think I like dying with all you pigs or whatever. And then a quick question. Did the inhaler ever come back into play?
No, they kicked it under the seat and then they never showed it again.
Well,
it
yeah,
ever
he
come back?
just essentially like let it free or whatever. So it's like,
But see, I was kind of hoping that he had an antivirus in there. Did anyone think that that was going to happen at the end of the movie? I thought he was going to find the vial and be like, there's an antivirus in this inhaler that he was
oh,
saving for himself. That's why when he freaks out, he's like, oh, shiz, and he like starts to run. It's because he's like, the virus is already loose and I need to take this before.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
See, and that's what I actually
Without
thought the
that, like,
callback. Yeah.
what's the point of him being caught?
What's
Like,
the point of the inhaler too? Because he literally has that
I know,
security and oh wait, did he? No, he didn't. He had the vial in his
I
armpit.
know.
Yeah.
It
So
did.
what was the point of the inhaler?
It did make me laugh when he started running. I'm like, where are you gonna go? It's a tiny
I'm
little
gonna run
plane.
to the back of the plane and then I'll run to the front again and then the back. You won't catch me.
Just running in a circle.
Never gonna catch me. Just starts running up and down. He hides.
True.
He's like
I don't know
hiding.
why he was
He's
running.
hiding in someone's seat, under someone's seat. Yeah, I didn't get that either. But it was funny where he's like, see, that's why I thought though, like he's like, if I get detained before I take the antiviral, I will die with everybody else. See, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
I kind of
he
like that
has-
better, yeah.
right? Is that not just one additional time? Because then you could argue, okay, he only had a single dose, but if we could replicate it, we could save everybody else.
Or
But
that
I thought
he had more in his apartment or something. Like,
yeah. But or they could always duplicate it later on. But in the immediate moment, I thought the pilot was going to be there with his daughter flying the plane. It's just the two of them left, and he's like, "Take this thing," because I'm guessing this is an antivirus. He would know because it's labeled on it or something, right? It says it has a little skull on it, you cure a little skull, and it says llama extract, and then she turns into a llama. Gosh, I'm on one right now. I'm quoting all these movies. Llama, he's supposed to be dead. It's an antivirus. I thought that was the whole point because he slides it under the seat, and you're like, it's going to be bouncing around, and then that's going to go up to the.
Well, no, he gets taken. It's on the ground, and then someone walks by and kicks it under the seat.
Right, but like, what's the point of that?
No, he just essentially it dispersed everywhere because before it just had gotten to like one or two people, but then
so he did put the virus in.
He hit it, and then it just went and all over the place. So he essentially just spread it faster.
They did the slow-mo shot of the light, and you can kind of see particles falling. Like that was their way of showing.
I remember that
like,
in the
virus was out
bathroom.
or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I
it
remember
happened
the bathroom.
again.
I didn't realize that.
when he
Okay,
dropped
Oh,
it.
you didn't know that? Okay, that makes more sense.
Well, yeah. So like I said, I still think though in my version, he had the inhaler because they made such a mention of it. Like, what's his point? He was like, I'm gonna hide.
Well, the
rest
idea
of the
was that
virus
he
in the
had
inhaler.
this. He wanted to make it as dispersible as possible using the inhaler as a sprayer.
Yeah, so he'd just spray it around the
So
place.
he was spraying the.
Oh,
the
and they
virus
almost
around
stopped
using
him
that.
from doing it, but then it gets kicked around and then it does spray. Okay. So that's effective too. But here's the one rewrite. If I had written this movie, I would have made it because they made such a point about the inhaler. And you're right, it's spreading it. But he's already in the bathroom. I don't remember him spraying it with the inhaler. Was he spraying it in the bathroom?
Yeah, he's
going like this.
Oh, okay. Because I remember him like shaking the vial, I thought. I'd have to
Or
see it. I already
something.
forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember him spreading the dust everywhere, right? And
that would have been really funny if they're like waiting for him to use it in the checkout. He's like, it's an inhaler.
Like, oh wait.
Bleeds from his eyes. He's like, ah, my ass is really acting up right now.
Just
Asthma
his
attack.
eye just
Oh my
pops.
Foaming at the mouth. Really bad asthma attack. Let me on that plane. Which one has the most passengers on it? Put me on it right now. Tell me. We can't tell you that information, sir. Why the heck not, you whore? Don't smile like that.
Man.
Oh, there's some great lines in this movie.
Yeah, amazing lines. Yeah.
Oh, my cheeks.
Like, you can be my wingman. That was the best line, dude.
One of my nitpicks was I felt like, and I mean this was already kind of a long movie, but the point where he cuts off all communicate or goes radio silent, and then they find out that the cure works or the antivirus works on the husband, the detective.
Whoa, slow down. Does it really work though? I mean, like, what kind of life is this?
That's true.
Poor guy, dude. This ultimate sacrifice.
But like,
where was his wife, by the way?
Part,
was she
though,
there?
like,
was she appreciative at all? Like, I wanted to see the scene where she's like holding his hand or something, but she's like nowhere to be seen. I'm like, she's probably divorced him after that too.
Well, no,
it's like,
remember she was hugging the guy's daughter. Like, she was at the like
She was at the garden party.
food
Just
stuff.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying. I
But
want to see that scene.
but my
where she's
nitpick
like,
was
"Thank
that
you."
like that whole scene happened. It kind of felt like too fast. Like that whole emotional weight of we're sacrificing ourselves. They go radio silent, and then they're like, "Oh, we found like the cure actually works."
Turn the
And
plane
then
back on. Turn it on.
well, then
Text
they're like
them. Call
communicate with
them.
them, and like, and they can't. And then they're like, "Oh, just have the families text them." And then like, literally 30 seconds later, they like find out. And like, "Oh, okay." Like, I don't know. That's my only nitpick. Like everything else, I really like about the movie.
For
So.
sure. I still wanted more like serial killery vibes where he's like choking one of the stewardesses or something, you know. Just give me another reason. Cause like what a cowardice way, right? Like he had killed quick question. The dead person at his apartment, that wasn't his own mom, was it? That was somebody else?
No, I
No,
think that's
she
somebody
died
else.
quite a while
Who was that
before.
victim then? Was it the person that lived there originally? No, wait.
I think
Now I'm
so.
confused.
I don't know if they ever tell us who it is. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. Now I'm starting to think because they go there, they find the dead body in the place where he was at. He was staying there. There's a big smell. You know something bad's going on in there. You don't know what. Just freaking Seven. It's Kevin Spacey in Seven. You know. Oh my gosh, there's all these creepy stuff around her. It's the Riddler from the Batman. You know, he's creepy incel man who's really upset about his mother's death. You know, it's freaking Psycho all over again. But anyway, I would have liked a little bit more because like I think they did a really good job at playing it up at the beginning where he's like hates women. He's so misogynistic and sexist where he's just like, don't smile like that.
He's total
like
creeper around
yeah,
kids and stuff.
it's great. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
he's creepy around kids.
Mhm.
Like they did all
Where are
the
you guys
right things.
going? And then he like looks at his bag. He's like, "Oh, Hawaii," and he's like, "Get away from me, dude."
I know. I would have really liked one more scene where he was chasing the girl, or and it would have been over the top, but it's just like if they could have worked that in a little 2-minute scene where he like tries to chase her because
It
he
was kind of
threatens her.
crazy
He's like,
having him die like halfway through the movie, and then the rest
yes,
is like
and then
without
there's
him.
still so much threat after the fact that in his wake, which I enjoyed. I'm just saying like that's my only nitpick. So it's like if it's like not even make the movie longer, but if somehow like when the airplane's tumbling around, he's like chasing after the kid. I don't know. Come here, and he's like floating around in space or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Climbing over everybody's seat. Yeah, there's something missing. He went out too fast. Is all my point. I loved it. I wanted another scene where he's strangling a hostess. That's it. Starts killing one, and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, return to your
Yeah,
seat."
because he
He's like,
didn't get to see the people. Like his whole thing, he's like, "I want to see them like rats, like try and survive." Like, and then he doesn't get to see most of it.
yeah, but see, it serves him right. He doesn't get what he wants. But see, that's why again, I would have liked a scene where he's chasing the girl, and then someone kicks him in the eye with like a high heel, and he gets a high heel in his eye, and it's like women empowerment. Yeah, you take
Just
him
like
down with
just
the
like Red Eye.
yes. Well, Red Eye was the other movie I thought of. Grant, thank you. Yes, I did think of Red Eye when watching this. It was a terrorist flight. Yeah, that's a really good one. Ooh, was that Craven, right? Wes Craven.
Yeah,
Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams. It's a good movie. It's a great one. But anyway, I've said most of my quotes and things about it. Do you guys have any other things you wanted to add?
No, it's a good movie, and I highly, highly recommend it. And I believe
I recommend this.
It's like borderline PG-13 R, right? It's like a very tame R.
I would say, it's very thrilling. It's definitely
There's a lot of F words.
Is there really? Oh, I thought there was only one.
At least the corrupt
subtitles.
Oh
wait, Grant, you speak Korean?
Guy.
Grant knows what the Korean.
Well, no, the corrupt corporation guy like says the F word in English a lot.
Oh, he does.
Does he?
Yeah. I didn't even realize. I'm so
he had
numb.
such bad acting. I didn't realize he was saying a swear. Not even a swear words carry weight. It was just so
okay. So it's definitely R. Okay.
Well, it's definitely not rated. I don't see any rating on here.
Sorry, Cassie, you can't watch this one.
Watch it in Korean and then turn off the subtitles and you won't hear a single swear. Oh wait, you're saying he says it in English?
Yeah, he said it in English.
He says it in English.
What?
He says it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Well,
because it threw me off. Like I'm hearing Korean through the whole movie, and then he's like coming out in English and like swearing. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, okay, so you can say 2 F words in a PG-13 if you don't have like other things like. So it could still be PG-13. All I'm saying is there's no rating for this movie. There's no rating. So use your discretion. Yeah, the guy's such a bad actor, you won't notice it anyway. I didn't notice it. Watch this movie. Everybody watch it. It's great. It's like the best thing since Red Eye. It's a good thriller. It's a good thriller. The best thriller I've seen since
the best thing since Nonstop Time.
Best thing since living through 2020 in the real world. Most thrilling thing since March of 2020.
And speaking of great Korean films, Ty, when are you gonna watch Memoir of a Murderer?
Yeah, now I'm like on that
Yo,
train where I'm like, I'm gonna watch it.
that movie's so good. I
Yeah.
watched
Is
it
it
with
good?
Cameron like a week or two
All
ago.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
Cameron's
with
seen
your
it twice.
recommendation,
I've
maybe
seen
I'll
it
watch
twice.
Good.
Maybe with your
It's
recommendation,
really,
guys, I'll
really
watch it because Jordan
good.
keeps saying it, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm still so mad about that awesome The Cure. I'm so mad about that episode being lost because I loved that.
I
Was
know.
that Cameron or my audio? It was
Yours.
it was mine. It was gone. Love that movie. It was so intriguing.
So
and I want to
good.
go back and watch that one too. But
We'll just have to do it, a revisit it. Do it again.
so we'll just have to wait.
Well, I was gonna call it a rewatchable, a rewatchable, but then I'm like,
rewatchable
we're not the rewatchable podcast, so
trademark. We had that idea first. All right, guys. What have you guys seen lately, and what are you looking forward to seeing? I watched a really funny movie called Something Kunk. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically Nathan For You, but a British girl version of it, where she's going to a bunch of historical figures. It is so fun, guys. Check out Kunk. It's Something Kunk on Netflix. Cunk. That's her last name. It is so funny. Please give it a watch. Just watch the first. Just linger Netflix over it, and you'll see some of the funniest things. Where she's like, "I'm interviewing people about across history," and she's like, "Did the Romans like?" And she's asking questions that are so Nathan For You. It's so funny, dude. Please just give it a chance because I literally was like beside myself laughing. There's some like laugh out loud moments, and it's quick too. Like they don't linger, and it goes through like the whole history of Earth and says like factually incorrect. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like a really well done Earthling cinema where they factually tell you things that are wrong, but they're Easter eggs and they're funny because you get why they're wrong, but they're also like kind of accurate, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to describe it because you remember Earthling cinema, right? From Wisecrack.
Oh
Garden,
yeah,
big bushy eyebrows.
definitely.
Yes, like it reminds me of that in a way, but again, it's like the female version of Nathan For You, but it is so funny and it's British and it's quirky. Definitely check it out. Something Kunk, Cunk. I can't remember her first name, but that's the show on Netflix right now. Very funny.
Yeah, anytime I show Tatiana like a new really good movie, we'll watch a Wisecrack video right after just to help better explain it.
Yeah, you're like, let me explain it because I didn't do a very good job explaining it. You can sit to me, listen to talking about hours. I'm like, there, see the video. That's why I like this movie, and they put it into words so much better than I did.
They do.
So, I know they really do. Dude, Wisecrack, R.I.P. Man. Dude, have you seen Wisecrack channel lately? Jared, we love you. You've been on the podcast. You were the life and soul of that podcast. That podcast is soulless now. No offense. I mean, they murdered your baby. I'm sorry.
You mean his YouTube channel? Because his podcast is no longer around.
Oh, well, I know, but I'm saying
you said his baby. But I know, but you said his podcast.
My baby!
It's a YouTube channel.
Well, it's his channel. They had a podcast too.
I know, but the
meaning all that stuff.
But the channel is separate, and that's no longer around.
Wisecrack is still around, and he's not a part of it. And it is a.
I'm not talking about Wisecrack. You said his podcast ended. Show me the meeting. It's no longer around.
Yeah,
they stopped it.
They killed that. They had to kill his YouTube channel. They killed everything. There's nothing sacred to these fools.
Something's not getting through today. That's okay. What else have you seen, Ty?
Yes, the podcast ended, but I'm just saying, like, it's because he left.
Never mind.
Like,
it's something I said. Okay, whatever.
Did you watch his 2-hour video explaining why he left Wisecrack?
Oh my gosh. Yes, Ty. I'm saying, but you just said 2 seconds ago. I don't need to explain this. It's what's be wasting time.
He left his podcast. He left his channel. He left everything. The podcast ended, but it's because he left.
No, you said, look where the podcast has gone. It is gone.
No longer. Yeah,
I know, but you meant you meant to say.
Look where the podcast is. You can't even find it anywhere.
You meant to say his YouTube channel, but you said
you're like,
podcast.
You can't even find it anywhere anymore. It's like, I can't because it doesn't exist. And I'm like, what do they do with it? Where is it?
I think Release I'm just tired.
Podcast. Release Jared Bauer's podcast.
You're on one. What else
Jared,
have you seen,
Ty?
Ty?
You so much, Jared. We love you. What else have I seen? So watch the Kunk show. So funny. It sounds so weird when I say it, but that's her last name, Kunk. Cunk. Check it out. It's so funny. And then
you can say a lot of weird words like Bitcom. Bitcom.
Bitcom.
The name of the plane.
Bing-com, yeah. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Yeah, no, I wrote it down. Bricom. Bricom. Bricom.
Just stop saying it.
It was
okay. What else?
I'm losing my head. Everybody calm down. All right.
What else have you seen, Ty?
I can't. Okay, sorry, calm down. What else have I seen? What else have I seen?
I've seen some crazy stuff. Holy cow.
Wait, is that all I've watched? What else did I watch? I'm watching a lot of YouTube, I guess. What else? I watched like a crazy documentary real quick about MrBeast. You guys know about MrBeast lately in the news? He made this YouTube video about healing 1,000 people that were blind, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so sick!" Like he's doing this just for the likes and whatnot. And I'm like, right, but like he's helping people. Like I don't really care what someone's motive is for doing good deeds, but because it's on YouTube, it's like, oh, it's not really. He's not a rich man using his money and wealth anonymously. He has to put his name on it. I'm like, yes, but it gets more monetization, so he can do more charitable things. Like I don't know. I just don't really get how
it's hard to know what that line is.
It's the same thing with Elon Musk, where like he buys Twitter and they're like, why don't you like end world hunger? And he's like, give me the plan, I'll end world hunger. And they're like, well, it's not that easy, okay? don't attack me. You're silencing me. But anyway, it just blew my mind. Like, so MrBeast, like there was this, he opened like a fast food chain. I didn't even know this, but like 2 or 3 months ago, this documentary came out. Did you watch the documentary?
No, I've just heard like
it's a YouTube video, so I can't even say it's a documentary. I can't remember who does it. Let me pull it up though. While you guys, I'll look for it. But yeah, keep going, Grant. You saw, what did you see about it?
Well, Grant's wife really likes MrBeast, doesn't she?
It's been a while since she's watched some of his videos, but she used to be like watch the.
It was by Colin and Samir. Whatever. It was by Colin and Samir, and it says we spent 24 hours with MrBeast, and it's like a very interesting study about a guy that I knew so little about. Like this guy started as a YouTuber, and he's so big and famous right now. He's making so much money. He's a billionaire.
It's disgusting. Have you seen, Ty? Did you watch his version of Squid Games?
It was just well done.
He was just throwing. It was really good, but he was just throwing money to people. Like even losers, he's like, "Here you go, $5,000 for losing."
Yeah. He just gives money away. And what's really cool is like a lot of these people like are really down on their luck. Like he's helping a lot of people, and a lot of people that like both adults and children. It's crazy. Anyway, he's doing a lot of good, and obviously everyone has to make it like a big deal, and it makes it controversial. But I was really blown away by this sincerity. He's opening a burger chain, and like so many people were there. The mall, they fed 6,000 burgers. The world record before that was 2,000 burgers in a day. So they did 6,600 burgers. It is so stressful, but he's like in the hallway. He has to leave it reminded me so much of The Chosen. It's weird that I'm comparing MrBeast to Christ, but hear me out. There's so many fans of his that were so desperate to meet him. They were crying. There were people like wanting to just touch him, shake his hand. It's weird. But again, like when you have this much fame, it almost reminds me of like a modern day Justin Bieber, but he's way less annoying, even though sometimes I think he's insincere because he kind of is kind of a weird, shy guy. But then I found out like, no, this is like a poor Gen Z or maybe he's still a millennial. I don't think he is. He's probably younger than I am. But like, he's like a little socially awkward, and he's got so much freaking fame and money now. It's like he's like a Mark Zuckerberg. He probably has like Asperger's or something, and he's always like, oh, it's fine. And he's always smiling and shrugging things off. But people are like in tears, and they're like thanking him because he gives them money, and he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, have some money. And people are in tears. They're like, thank you. So he does this thing. Anyway, I watched this, and it was like a 38-minute documentary. I'm gonna send it to you guys. You guys totally watch it. It made me feel like I was watching something between like The Founder, but like a sweet version of The Founder, where you have a leader that's just like, I just want everyone here to have a good time. It's like the opposite of Fire Festival. He's trying so hard to make sure that everyone's having a good time. Unlike the McFarlane guy that's like, I don't freaking care. Send them here. We'll figure out what to do when they get here. And it's like, nothing is ready. Like turns into Lord of the Flies. This one was just like, he's trying his hardest to make sure everyone's just having a good time. And it's stressful because he's running a fast food chain. They just opened that day. And there's like tens of thousands of people there to see him. And like they eat the burger and they're just like so happy to eat the burger. And it's like, I don't even know if it's good fast food. I've never tried it and I don't really care to. But like the fact that this meant so much to so many people, it's just such a crazy character study. And the documentary is awesome. 38 minutes. It is so captivating. It's like watching something by I'd say Danny Boyle. It's like watching Steve Jobs. Something written by Aaron Sorkin. It's a very sweet, heartfelt,
well, that's high praise.
Subtle. Yeah, it is high praise. But watch it. I'll send it to you guys. It's crazy. But MrBeast, I gotta give you a shout out on this podcast. You're I think you're a good guy. And watching
Squid Game episode was pretty freaking awesome.
It's so awesome. And I'm like, dude, you're bringing entertainment like that to the world. That's freaking cool. Like he literally remade Squid Game, and it was
make a part 2,
just as entertaining as the whole show. And it didn't have any bad American actors in it, or English speaking Korean actors wearing masks and creepy stuff. But anyway, So that's all. That's all I've been watching. Grant, what about you, man? What have you been watching lately? What are you looking forward to?
The only one I had that I rated because I forgot anything else that I've seen like recently, but Memoir of a Murderer is just really really good. It's like I keep mixing that one up with Memory of Murder, Memories of Murder,
Memories of
and
Murder. Memoir of a Murder.
anyways, I like mix them all together. But I just remember it's a really really good film. It like involves
I'm back on the Korean train. I'm gonna
dementia.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it this week. Yeah,
It's
I'm
so
excited.
good. Yeah.
And Bet Evil Ted. That was a good one too.
Oh, that's right. There were two of them. Yeah. Bed Evil.
Okay, so I saw a
Is
few.
it bedeviled or bed evil?
I don't know. It's
bedeviled.
something like that. Yeah. So I saw the Chainsaw Man, the new anime show out, and listen, I only like 3 anime shows, but it's on the 3 listed.
Jordan's slowly growing his list. He's like, it was just that though, guys. I'm not an anime, and he's like, and I also like what's it? Ponya? What's the
Studio Ghibli movies?
Ghibli.
Yeah, Studio
Those
Ghibli.
are really good.
And then
yeah.
he's like, hey, and this TV show, and watch
And
Arcane
Pokemon.
Well, it's
Jordan like joins with like Yu-Gi-Oh hair next week. It's like, yo.
I know, next week on the pod. It's so good. I just absolutely love it. It's amazing. I love that it's finally I'm watching something that's like not a political message that it's getting jammed down my throat, and it's just really fun, good characters. And he's got a chainsaw for a head, and he's just mowing down people. It's amazing. It's hilarious, and it's really funny.
Okay, this is literally like a movie I would expect you to be watching.
Yes, it's so good.
And he's mowing down people.
Yeah, and he's just like, and it's just, it's so funny.
What in the world?
It's really good. And then I also watched that new Brandon Cronenberg movie, not Deadpool. It's like Infinity Pool. So
Infinity Pool, yeah, they looked really sickly on the cover. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it definitely looks like it's directed by him.
It's just as gross as Possessor and in his first film too.
I feel bad for that guy. He's like, I actually want to be an actor, or he's like, I'd like to direct romantic comedies, and then he's just like, Possessor is just like melting, and then Sean Bean's eye, like. It's so gross. And now he's like, I guess I'm pigeonholed.
And that girl that's dating Shia LaBeouf from X and Pearl, she's
dating Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and it probably explains a lot why she's like crazy and insane in this movie.
I know she's getting typecast kind of like my girl Anya Taylor-Joy. She's kind of getting typecast in like the creepy. Well, actually, I should correct that because she was in Queen's Gambit and she was also in
Emma.
Right, but no. I know you're talking about the Pearl girl. Or are you talking about Anya Taylor-Joy?
Anya Taylor-Joy is an Emma.
Well, she's
not typecast at all.
Well, no, she's branching out. But at first I was like, oh, she's going down like the creepy Bellatrix Lestrange. Yes, Split. Like all the depressing bleak movies. But anyway, she's branched out enough. But
she's been in other stuff. But that's
the Northman. Gosh, I couldn't remember the movie.
Yeah, Northman.
That's different enough. But it's like she plays this kind of.
No, those are just the ones that she's popular in. She's actually in a lot of other stuff, but it's not good.
Thoroughbreds. No, I'm going through all the other movies. Thoroughbreds, like all those creepy.
Yeah, but those are the good ones, and she does good in those movies. So.
She's great. I'm just saying she's going places. I'm not worried about her.
Yeah,
she
but
sticks with this acting thing.
You probably didn't see her in a movie called Morgan because it was garbage.
Wait, Morgan, is that M3 again? There's Morgan.
No.
Wait, is Morgan the one with the?
She's like a sci-fi girl, and she like, I think Paul Giamatti's in it. I think I don't remember.
I remember the trailer for that. Is that her?
I think so.
Somewhere, folks. You got to start somewhere. What can I say? He still kicks the butt out of Saoirse Ronan. I'm so sick.
I'm still looking forward to her being Furiosa in a prequel to Mad Max. Oh,
dude, is George Miller going back for that or not?
Yeah.
Oh my fetching gosh, I will watch the heck out of that in the theater. I'll just be like,
it's part of the cult.
War boys.
Oh, and then when I was watching that movie, very disturbing and but the trailers,
the Cronenberg one?
The trailers for some movies that are coming out, I got so excited because they showed a trailer for a new William Dafoe movie coming out, and he's trapped in a house that he's robbing, and he starts to go crazy, and like it looks like he starts like a religion or something. It's just so good. He goes,
Wait, what's the Joaquin Phoenix and the what's that new psychedelic? What's that one?
yeah,
called?
the new
Fall or something?
Midsummer guy. He's making
Yeah,
and
Ari
Hereditary.
Aster, right? Yeah.
Yeah, making an. I love what you said. You're like, oh, a match made in heaven. Like
Yeah,
Joaquin Phoenix
Joaquin Phoenix, the weirdest actor on earth, and
with
the
Ari
weirdest
Aster.
director. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ari Aster. Perfect.
I'm really
Perfect
excited
match made
about
in
that
heaven.
movie. It looks like a fun art house film. Um, and then
Oh
and then
wait,
the other
and
trailer.
Eggers, isn't he doing something now, or no? Is he done after the Northman? I can't remember. Is he doing
Yeah,
something?
no, he announced a movie.
Yeah,
He's gonna be doing. It's called The Night. So
the night, the Green Knight.
Green Knight.
not Green
This
Knight.
one's called The
No,
Night. It's
it'll.
the same movie, but
But
there's
he
no
does.
green.
But he's like perfect for period pieces, right?
Oh yes, like I, you want to talk about Taika? I'm like, dude, you belong in other times, and I love
Yes.
that he's doing. Because to me, I almost have an appreciation. Like I'm like, okay, one, I have no interest in other time than like the current modern day, but I'm like somehow he gets me to care so much about mid-country Englishmen that move like Puritan religion, like the two lighthouse men in freaking 1800. It's crazy, like the
Yeah.
18th century. How does he get me to care about these people?
And Ty, the other trailer I saw was John
Amazing.
Wick 4, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm
That
so
looks so cool,
excited.
dude. The jackets, the freaking nunchucks, slapping that guy's face. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that, dude. I'm gonna see that in theater. I don't even care if it's good. I'll be like, dude, Keanu Reeves, you've earned my respect to
Yeah.
like this movie, even if it's not good, because I know he puts his whole heart and soul into it, man.
I
It's
mean,
like when I go see a Tom Cruise movie, I'm like, dude, I know he's working hard, man.
yeah, I hope it's like
Passion for the craft.
number 3, because the second one was my favorite, but the first and third, holy crap. I mean, even if it was
Yeah.
like number 2, I'd
Oh, I
still be okay
rewatched
with
1
it, but...
and 3, yeah, like a few weeks. And I watched Nobody again. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes, I watched it with Tatiana.
I
She
remember
loved
thinking
it.
that only the bus scene was good. I watched the rest of the movie. I'm like, there's an amazing shootout where he like murders people with like, what do you call
It's
those
Home Alone.
rhubarb? No, what's it called? Not rhubarb, rebar.
Oh yeah.
He fires rebar and it just like cuts through some guy. It's freaking grisly. Slaps on a claymore on like a blast shield and just like body slam. It's freaking awesome, dude. Watch Nobody. That movie is so fetching awesome. Christopher Lloyd is like the best old man in a retirement home. Murders he's ready to kill him. He grabs his gun and he like shoots it and clicks it and he gets his finger in the way. Dude, we need to review Nobody again. I need to talk about this movie. Nobody's so good. Did we review it already when it
We
came out?
did review it.
Right after it came out.
Dude, when Christopher Lloyd like has the gun, or the guy's pointing the gun at Christopher Lloyd, and he like clicks it, and he puts his finger in, stops it with his pinky, and he's like, and then he shoots him. He goes flying back to the wall, dude. It was so crazy. And then he's like suffocating him, or like he's like shot him, and he's dying. He's like, "Hey, Walter, turn down the TV," and he's like, turns it down, and the
It's like holding him. Ty, we got a minute. Wrap it up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
Oh
Guys,
wait, real quick.
Oh yeah,
Jordan mentioning Chainsaw Man reminded me that I've been watching Attack on Titan since it's anime.
That's right.
It's really good.
Now we're the anime.
It's good.
Guys, stop.
I'm serious.
Stop watching anime.
Check it
We're
out.
not that nerd. No, we're not.
Check it out. It's good.
I discourage anime. Watch South Korean dramas and serial killers. Guys, this has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Leave us an email, futuremovies@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube. We love you guys so much, you listeners. You mean the world to us. We love you. We love talking about movies. Tune in next week. Find out what we're talking about. I don't know. How do we end these podcasts? One other quote. But I wear gloves. How am I sick?
Whore.